Hello students, we are back again and we are there on first unit, that is communication skill. In last video we discussed about different types of communication. We will continue the same chapter here, and this time we will discuss about some of the pros and cons of all these types of communications. See, as we know that everything has its advantage, at the same time some major or some minor disadvantages are also there. In the same way, when we discuss about the types of communication, all these different types of communication, whether that be verbal form of communication or non-verbal communication or written communication or visual communication, all these four types of communication have some advantages. Apart from some advantages, it has some disadvantages also. So we will be discussing here the advantages plus the disadvantages. So if we take the very first type of communication, that is verbal form of communication, and as we all know that the verbal form of communication uses spoken words. So it has a number of advantages. The very first advantage we can say is that both the parties are there, that is the sender and the receiver, the one who wants to convey a message and to whom he wants to convey the message, both are there at the same place. So this communication will be a interactive communication. That means the person who is expressing something, and if the other party cannot understand it properly, the other one can make it more clear and make it more understandable through words to the other party. It goes in the real time. It is a very fast medium of communication, as both the sender and receivers are there in front and they can clarify their doubts at the same time and same moment. This communication takes place uninterrupted, because like in telephone line or in mobile phone communication there can be some problem, but when it goes on head to head, then no problem comes up. This is the preferred form of communication, as if you take either professional or personal, in both the kind of relationship, verbal communication creates bond between both the parties, that is sender and the receiver. One more advantage we get is that we get the instant feedback, and we can reply to the feedback also during verbal communication. So these all are the advantages of verbal communication. Apart from advantages, there are a number of disadvantages also. The very first disadvantage which comes up is that if both the persons are not there in the same geographical area, then the communication is not possible. Say for example, a person is living in India and the other person to whom he wants to communicate is there in some other country, then verbal communication is not possible at that point, because in verbal communication both the persons should be there at the same place for communication. The other disadvantage we can say that we cannot use verbal communication legally. Legally means, see, the very first thing is it is oral, it is not recorded. Whatever things are said, those things are said in real time, and if the person wants to use it legally, it is not quite possible. The next type of communication which we discussed was non-verbal communication, in which people used to interact using gestures or body language or some voice tones. So this has some number of advantages and it has some numbers of disadvantages also. The very first advantage we can say is that it is very easy to demonstrate. Means if a person wants to express something which he has and he wants to express using non-verbal communication, that becomes very simple because the person has to only make some gestures using his or her body and he can express his views to the other person and the other person may understand quite very easily. Say for example, a teacher enters in the class and the class is very loud, the boys and girls are shouting in class. So the teacher may simply put his finger on his lips and the students will clearly come to know about that the teacher wants silence in the class. So we can say that it is a easy medium also and it is quite quick and fast medium also of conveying messages. We can say one more thing, means one more advantage, that is it requires no language barrier. The sign language do not requires any particular language. Any person who belongs to understand any language may understand the non-verbal communication quite very easily. Like just now I said, if a person puts fingers on the lips, any person of any language or any country may come to know that the other person wants silence. So this non-verbal communication is quite simple and we can say it very fast also. Means as the person puts fingers on the lips, everybody who sees him will understand that he wants silence in that particular place. So we can see that there are a number of advantages of non-verbal communication. So apart from non-verbal communication advantages, there are some disadvantages also. The very first disadvantage which we can say is that we cannot use non-verbal communication for lengthy communication. See, you can only feel that if you want to convey a lengthy message to a person and you only make signs and gestures, the other person may not be able to understand all. So we can say that if a lengthy conversation is required, then this non-verbal communication will not work. It works only for quick and short communication. The other disadvantage is it is not a complete form of communication. It requires some other forms of communication also to complete. Like it can require some other forms of communication also. So for example, a teacher comes in the class, puts fingers on the lips, the other understands now he wants silence in the class. After that, what else he wants, he cannot say everything with gestures only, he has to use some other communication medium so that the students may understand what else he wants to do. So we can say that this non-verbal communication is a incomplete form of communication. The other disadvantage can be there is that these body language and gestures may lead into some kind of confusions also sometimes to some person. It may happen that the same symbol or the same gesture may have different meaning in different regions of the world. The same gesture may mean something else in one country, and the same gesture may mean some other thing in some other country. So, this may lead into confusion if a person wants to convey something through gestures. The next kind of communication was visual communication, where these graphs and charts and logos and posters are used for communication. See, this visual communication is not the full communication. It is used along with the other forms of the communication, like it is used with written communication, it is used with oral communication to make things more clear. So it has a number of advantages. The very first advantage which we can say is, when we use these charts and graphs and other visual materials in using other forms of communication, it makes the communication more understandable. A additional meaning is added to the communication when this visual form of communication is added to it. The next advantage we can say is that sometimes what happens, words do not make things very much clear, and just to understand those words more clear we require some visual tools, and these visual tools helps to make the person makes his point more clear and more understandable. So we can say that this visual form of communication, it helps in adding to the meaning of the other form of communications also. See, visual communication do not require any particular language. These visual communications are like signs, boards, hoardings, logos, which are having almost similar meaning in all the languages. So a person who is qualified or not qualified, a person who knows a particular language or a different language, if he comes in contact with visual form of communication, that person may understand the visual communication very easily, because see, graphics form of communication is the simplest one to understand. The thing which you can see is very easy to understand. Say for example, graphs are there, charts are there, or directions are there. You are there on a road and you want to find out some particular place, and through directions you can find out the place. So it do not requires any particular qualification, or even it do not requires any particular language. So apart from advantages, it has again some disadvantages. The very first disadvantages, we can say that this visual form of communication is expensive. You will be surprised to see expensive, yes, expensive, because to create these graphs, charts, signs, board, cost is required, time is required, a person is required, a qualified person is required who can create all these visual tools. So certainly it is an expensive form of communication where money is required. Apart from money, it requires a specific form of storing. Yes, it requires storing also. See, these graphs, charts, hoardings, banners, posters, or other visual form of communications and visual aids, whichever these are. If you can see that there are posters, so if you require to store posters, you need a particular place for storing posters. If hoardings are there, and if you want to store those hoardings to some place to use it in future, then for storing those hoardings you require a particular kind of place. What I want to say is that different kind of visual form of communication, or the visual aids which are used in visual form of communication, these all requires a special place for storage, so that you can use it again. The other disadvantage which we can say is that it is time consuming. See, you can feel that if a person wants to create a chart or a graph or any logo or sign or poster or hoarding, all these things certainly requires time. The person has to think and design and create. So it takes a lot of time to create these visual tools for visual form of communication. And lastly, we can say that the last type of communication which we discussed was written communication. Written communication simply means the documentation of the communication, means conveying messages through written form of communication. So it too has some advantages and it has some disadvantages. The very first advantage which it has is it is a permanent form of communication, means once a person has communicated in written, that particular communication becomes a permanent communication. It can be stored permanently for future references, and it can also be used that communication officially. The next advantages is that written form of communication can be used legally also. Legally in different ways we can say that, say for example, a person who has conveyed a message, a particular message, and now he is denying, so the person can show that message legally. This is the communication or this is the message which you have conveyed in written. So a written communication can be used legally also. The next advantages is कि the written communication can be reused. So if a person wants to use a written communication again and again, it can be done because the communication is in written form, and that written form of communication can be used and can be reused any required number of times. The other advantages it can be that written communication can be used for mass circulation also, means a written documentation is there and you want to convey it to a particular mass of people. The duplication of the message can be done and can be circulated in a number of people. The same message can be conveyed to a number of people at the same time simply by copying the message again and again. This form of written communication is very helpful in lengthy explanations or messages. If a person has a lengthy message, a lengthy conversation, so the person may write and may transfer it to the receiver, and this becomes very helpful so as the receiver may read it a number of times and he may understand the things which he may not able to read by a single time. So for lengthy conversations, this written form of communication is quite very simple and very easy. One more advantages is that, like I said, for mass circulation, if a message is there and that message requires to be circulated among a number of people, the only thing required is to copy that message. So when we do so, the errors of different types of messages goes off, means the single message is copied and circulated among a number of people, so all the people will get the same message, the same content will be received by all the people. So we can say that these all are the advantages of written form of communication. Apart from these advantages, there are some disadvantages also. The very first disadvantage is it is costly. See, you have to write a message, and when you have to write a message, or when a person has to write a message, he has to give some time. When he gives some time, he requires pen, he requires paper, he requires electronic media. A number of things are required in order to compose a message, so it is costly. The second thing is it is time consuming. See, when a written documentation will be created, certainly it will be checked and rechecked before sending it to the person, the grammatical mistake, the errors, and everything. So, it will certainly take time. There is one very big disadvantage, and that disadvantage is if you are circulating or sending a written form of communication, only the person who is qualified and only the person who knows that particular language will be able to understand and communicate using the written form of communication. The person who is not qualified and the person who do not knows that particular language will never come to understand what the meaning of that particular message is. So this is quite a very big disadvantage in written form of communication. And there is one more disadvantage, and that is if a written form of, you all know that 93% of communication takes place without words, and about 55% of contribution is body language. So we can say that when we communicate to somebody, our body language says a lot of things. So we should be very very careful about our body language, how much positive or how much negative the body language is displaying, because in communication body language also takes place, and it also conveys different types of meaning to the receiver. Different body languages may portray different meaning to the other person to whom we are communicating. So we should be very very careful about our body language when we are communicating. So there are a number of things which we can do and which we can avoid in communication for our body language. The very first thing which we can do is we can keep our arms by our side, and when we see the other person we can greet by smiling. We can offer firm handshakes also. Make sure to do eye contact when doing a communication with the other person, and always stand up with a straight back and relaxed posture, so that we may give a positive attitude to the other person to whom we are conveying the message or to whom we are communicating. So a number of more things are there which we should not do while communicating. The very first thing which we should not do while communicating is we should not lean towards either the walls of the buildings or lean towards the fronts or any object. This gives a negative impact on the other person, that he is not taking interest in the communication. Even do not give a fake smile, that too the other person may find out quite very easily. Even while conversation, do not put your hands in the pocket, as it gives a negative impact on the other person when you are doing or when you are there in a particular communication. See, all these body postures and body language gives a impact on the other person about the person and its mentality. So it may give a positive impact and it may give a negative impact also. So according